Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to a gameplay video for Final Girl. So we are going to actually play one of the first expansions, which is Happy Camp Trails. So Hans the Butcher at the Happy Camp Trails Resort. I have everything kind of set up. I do have stuff in a little bit different setup than they'd like for the game, just based on my camera's limited, so I'm trying to do the best I can. I'll try and show off cards while I can. If you're familiar about Final Girl, before I watch the video, I know what it is. You can definitely check out my other channel. I'll leave a link in the description where I do game unboxings, and I do go over the rules of the game and specifically what is in this expansion. This is a core box, which is separate than, which is all the game stuff, and then each different special expansion. We have one for Hans, and the other side flips over for Happy Camp Trails. Has that, and we do a bunch of videos. So we're going to go ahead and try this. This is my first time playing, so I might miss some rules or make mistakes, so forgive me on that. So we have our board set up a little bit. We already have a couple of things. So we have our starting actions, which are all the ones with 0 cost. Oh, we have Critical Blow in there. Let's drop that back down. Both Critical Blow and Long Rest. So let's just throw both of these guys back up here at the top. Trying to keep them in cost order if I can. 1 second, sorry. Yeah, so I don't have a lot of room on my tab. You have all the 0 cost ones in my hands. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of our starting 10 cards. So if I kind of scroll my camera to the side, I'm not going to keep focusing on these too much until we need to do them, or maybe during that phase I'll rotate the camera over. But we have our tableau of other cards. We have our 2 defense, we have Retaliate and Guard, and then going in increasing time to lower, or sorry, high time to lower, we have 1 Long Rest, 1 Critical Blow, 1 Double Strike, 1 Planning, and then 2 of each of the Improvised Distraction, Search, Sprint, and then Close Call cards down here. I'm going to slide that one right there. You guys kind of see that a little bit better. So those will pick up during the turns, but we don't get to do that until after we play action turns. That's the second step. Alright, so then we have Hans up here at the top. He has 4 Terror. I believe that means that is where we start right there. So he starts at 4 Terror. We have our 6 time on here, so I did do 2 dice. We're playing with, he has 12 health. His token, he has his 2 cards here. His Finale and his Dark Power, which will get summoned based on that. He starts with 2 attack, damage per attack, 1 movement. So nothing too terribly scary. We're going to play as Laurie as our first Final Girl. She has a couple of things she gains for saving victims. She gains some extra time, extra action cards, move space, health, and less terror. Then our board, we are playing the setup here of Skinny Dipping. I randomly drew these, so this is one we picked. So the killer is going to start over here. We have person at the lake, a couple of people at the cliff, someone at Makeout Point, cabins. Up in the corner, we have 2 people in the fire pit. And our Final Girl is the purple one starting here at the dock. So that's, if I have a search card right off the bat, that would be helpful. But you don't start with a search card, unfortunately. Then we have our item cards. Now I have them at the bottom. So we have cabins, docks, and sheds. We have an aluminum bat, some motorboat keys, and some knives. Some weapons right off the bat are nice, but again, I don't start with that search card, so that doesn't help me. Then down here in the side corner, we'll have our terror deck and our event deck. So when we need them, we'll draw them. And I'll kind of keep this area open to show them. So we're going to draw our first event to start the game. So the objective of Final Girl, in case you're not familiar, is to kill the killer. You can rescue bystander or rescue victims as you can to gain extra bonuses. Keep the killer from getting too powerful to gain bonus every time they die. But your ultimate goal is to defeat the killer. So our first event to start off is we have Death Wish. This does not sound like a good thing to start with. I gotta get a better look, even if it kills me. During the upkeep phase, move the victim closest to the killer 1 space towards it. Do not count the victims until your current space as a killer. Alright, so that'll be fun to play with the entire game. one guy's going to always move closer to the victim at the end of the turn. So our turn actions are just a reminder for people that maybe didn't know. Action phase, I get to play as few or as many cards as I would choose. Sometimes keeping them is helpful. Then planning phase, purchasing action cards by spending my time. So I have 6 time, I can spend it. Other things might increase or decrease that. And then return action cards to the tableau. So I can only, any cards I play during my turn, I cannot use or purchase again during that turn. So they kind of go off to the side. I have some extra tokens and stuff way over here. And then I can repurchase them at a later turn. Then we have the killer phase, resolve the killer action, and draw a terror card. So they try and go there. So panic phase, victim will still just turn pack all victims in the killer space, and upkeep phase, reveal the final if there are no terror cards left, and then rearrange items. So yeah, I want to try and do whatever as best I can. And again, I have never played this, so I don't know exactly the best way to go about it. We also have a couple of things here we can do. It says, action cards, resolve action card, make a horror roll to see if it's successful. If it's a partial success, I can discard 2 action cards, so keeping cards in your hand is helpful for getting better results. And I can gain time. At any point before the action phase ends, I may discard to gain time. So if I have 5 cards and I can't really decide what to do, I could do less movement, do less attacks, and I could try and gain more time to purchase more cards. So, all right, what do we have to begin with? Let's start off. We have some weak attacks, which don't help me. I'm not near him. We have focus, which reduces the terror. And gets me 2 times, so that's not bad. But if I roll bad, I can lose time. We have 2 of those. We have short rest, which will heal me. First turn, this is not very helpful to me. Then we have 2 copies of walks. I can move up to 2 spaces, but I do lose time for that. But that is how I get around the board. So the option is, where do I want to go and what do I want to do first? I want to try and collect some survivor or victims because they're what I need to kind of keep alive and try and get them to these green zones on the board. I know they're a little bit hard to see. I can zoom up during this phase for you. You can kind of see. So yeah, we have some green zones. They have the little door icon. So there's one there, one there, one there. I need to get guys up there. But to do that, so right now, there is no way to get to make out point without going to there. So I have to move guys and then pull them out there. So the killer's right there. Getting this boat would help, but that's over at the docks, which I am currently at. So I could potentially do that, but I have to wait till my next turn. And I really don't want to do absolutely nothing on a turn. But I could always just spend a bunch of points to gain stuff. But I should try and get somewhere. So I might try and do is go to the lake and move up towards the cliff. Because where is the other purchase point? Way up there, and then there's one over by the cabins. Getting the cabins to get aluminum bat might not be a bad idea either. But yeah, I want to rescue some of these guys. So, you know, I think what we'll try and do is we'll try and go this way. We're going to try it. So we're going to spend a walk card. So it says move up to 2 spaces and then move. So I have to roll dice. I had currently, so now if I zoom back out a bit here, and we zoom back over, we look at our horror board here. It's going to show we have 2 dice to roll. So I want to roll 2 dice. So I just need to get 2 stars. I got nothing. Well, I got nothing on this one, and I got a 3 on that one. So to walk with only 1 star, I can move up to 1 space. It's going to cost me a time. Alternatively, I could spend 2 cards to move 2 spaces. So you know, I'm not. I can't attack anything right now. I can't short rest. Doesn't help me. So let's discard both of them. Count this as a. So I change it to a. It says. During your turn, 2 action cards from your hand convert a 3 or 4 to a success. Do this once for each die showing. So, yeah, otherwise I have 0 stars, and I'm going to do absolutely nothing. So, at least if I do a 1 star, I can move 1 space and I lose 1 time. Otherwise, I have nothing. I also lose a health point and 2. So, I'm only going to move 1 space, and I'm going to lose a time. So, that's unfortunate, and I lost 3 cards. So we'll set these guys over in the tableau to be picked up at a later turn. So now I still have 3 options. Do I want to try and focus to gain some extra time back and reduce that terror level, or do I want to try and walk again? I think we'll try and focus again, get some of that time back, so maybe I can buy some more cards. So we'll roll 2 dice again. Okay, so there we have a 6 and a 3. So if I do the 6, I get minus a terror, but I lose a time. So I'm going to discard my other 2 cards to turn that to a success. And now I don't know if this is the best thing to do. But with that, I get a reduced terror by 1. So that goes down to 3. So that helps. If I can get back up to this 1, I get some extra stuff, or horror. And I gain 2 times. So I'm back up to 7. So that wasn't necessarily the best thing ever, but I did a little bit. Alright, so then my next step is purchase action cards and reset time to 6. So I have purchase action cards. I have a total of 7 total to spend. And I can't buy any of the cards I just spent, so those are all out right now. So I'm going to flip over here to a sec. So we have some couple good... Oh, my camera. Sorry, everyone. The camera got loose. Probably because I keep switching around. Alright, so we have some different options here. Again, I don't think I need one of the attack cards. I'm far enough away from the killer. I don't think I have to worry about that at the moment. But some of these might be very helpful. Like, distraction might be good. Reduce 2 horror, and I could get an extra time might be good. Sprint to move up to 3 spaces might not be a bad thing. Search, because I want to try and get up towards them cabins. So let's spend 2 to gain a search. Or a sprint, I'm sorry. Improvise. Until this action phase ends, all 3s and 4s are successful. Or for the next roll. Interesting. Or planning, I get 3 dice for the next horror roll. Or I get 2. So I get 3 additional dice for planning, which might not be bad either. I have a distraction. Yeah, I have a distraction. I'm going to get another sprint card for 2. We'll pick up both of them because I need to get across the board. Let's pick up a search for 2. And I do have 1 point left. There's no reason to not spend my points if I have cards. So there is only 1 card that has a 1. And it's close calls after playing any horror. Reroll any 1 die or reroll all dice for 2 times. So I'm going to grab one of those. I'm going to put it at 0. I don't want to go below that though. Cool. So we got 4 new cards to play. That's something I'm not, again, if I would have rolled better and I wouldn't have given up 4 cards to partial successes, I could have discarded them and bought a lot more stuff. That's just kind of how that goes. Alright, now if we flip ourselves back over here to the board, let's see what we got here. So we have the killer, resolve the killer action. So the top of his card, upkeep's at the end. Okay, so we don't do that. He is going to target either the closest final girl or victim, and he's going to attack. There's no one near him, so he doesn't care. So he's not going to do anything. So we draw a terror card. Our first terror card. Oh, that's not fun to start with. I have really bad draws in these games. Minor Dark Power. Unholy Power. It says Hans does an additional attack for each damage. And he gains 2 extra health points. So we gotta grab some extra health out of the box. So now he's up to 14 health. So per victim wise, it's not really a big deal. Because he only does damage per attack. So, they only take 1 damage anyhow, so he's just going to hit 1. So, that's not a matter. The thing is, if he gets close to me, him also doing extra and having extra health is going to be a pain. Alright, then the upkeep phase, one of these guys is going to move closer to him. So the closer space is going to be 1, 2, yeah, one of these guys here is going to move into that spot there. That's our Death Wish. I don't have any items, I can't rearrange. Alright, next turn I gotta reset this back to 6. Alright, so now what do we want to do on our turn? We need to do some more movement. We have sprinting, so we're gonna roll for sprinting. Actually, do we have... Yeah, I didn't get the time one. Okay, so we're going to sprint. Just move up to 3 spaces. So we're going to roll 2 dice. We got 1 success and 1 partial success. So I can move 2 spaces and take a time, or I could spend 2 cards to get that partial. I can't really afford to spend 2 cards when I only have 4 in my hand. So we're just going to get rid of that. So we're going to turn that sideways over here so I can't buy it this turn. So we'll move up to 2 spaces. So we'll go 1 space here and 2 space there. We'll bring all these guys with us. Let's try sprinting again because I would like to get up towards them cabins. So we got another sprint. So let's roll another 2 dice. We got double success. Perfect. We did move 3 spaces. So we got 1, 2, and 3. So we are now in the cabin. So now if we can get everybody all the way over to that green spot in 1 turn, that would be awesome. That would be a really good combo. But whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. Then I could have played close call on the other one to reroll for the 3. But again, my time goes down 2. Goes down for 1 of each of those cards. That is kind of the downside. Sprinting kind of wore me out. But we do have search here. It says, take 2 top 2 item cards from your space and choose 1, place it either in the top or face up underneath. So now right away, I already know kind of what's there, but I don't know what the second card is. But we're going to definitely use search since we're at the cabins. So we can only search the cabin cards. I do have to roll dice for this. So I have to roll 2 dice. So we'll see what we got. Oh, crap. We only got a 1. So 1 just says take the top item card. I don't have enough dice. So it's a 2. So I can't even do a partial even if I wanted to. Now, I could go ahead and spend close calls. After any horror roll, reroll any die. The thing is, if I want the aluminum bat and that's all I'm concerned about, it doesn't make sense to spend this card for that. Because I also lose a time for that as well. So it says, let's see what this says specifically. Whenever you deal damage to killer with the aluminum bat, you may immediately discard a minor dark power, including any health markers on it. Oh, yeah, because he just got one. So that's definitely worth picking up right now. So we'll just do that. And then now we have that right away. So if we can get up to him, it has 0 range, and it does 1 damage. So I have to be in the same space as him. But the fact is I can just eliminate that card right away is going to be super helpful. Now, my last action I have option to do is I could either, close call is not going to do anything more. I could discard it for a time, which would bring me back up to 4, but I am going to also draw all of my 0 cards back up. So the thing is there something for 3 that I could really use, or should I try and go for a 4th one? I think I'm just going to hang on to this, and we'll do our purchase phase. So we can't buy the cards we just spent, but we can spend 3 points. I think first of all, we can pick up all of our 0s because they were bought last turn. So this gets us another full hand again. And it's kind of the way the game's going to play. You kind of have like a full hand, small hand. I think it's sort of how it's going to be. Again, you might not want to spend everything every turn. But I do need to get some more time so I can get stuff. So I think I'm going to get this distraction for 3. And that would be 3 down to 0. We're going to reset it back up to 6. Then we'll re-put these sprint and search cards back into the pile. Now, I could have bought another search card instead of a distraction and possibly got another item. That would have had some more options, but I wanted the distraction for the less horror. Alright, so then we're going to swing back over here to our killer. And they get to, again, they get to try and target someone to attack. They don't have any movement right off the bat. So they're not going to do anything until they get a movement card. So he's kind of just hanging out there. It's why he's a little bit easier villain, because he's not going to do anything. But we do draw a terror card. Now, I do not flip the first item back over. Our terror card says he wants fresh blood. He's going to target a victim, and he's going to... So if there are no victims on the board, discard and draw another terror card, but there are. So he's going to find a victim, he's going to move twice towards them, and he's going to attack them. Alright, so that's going to kind of suck. So he's going to move 1. He doesn't need to move 2. He's going to kill this victim. So she is gone, so we'll throw that guy down there. This will go up 1. So now he still has the same amount, but as you go up higher, he's going to gain some extra stuff. Gets another level, the terror level will go back up. Death Wish is going to activate. So now this is first going to be bad because now this guy's idiot and runs into that zone. So next turn, he's going to be able to kill that guy right off the bat. So this is where it's going to get a little trickier. And I don't have any more sprint cards, so I can't move as fast. I want to double check my movement abilities. I don't have to spend extra to move with a guy, do I? Oh, okay, so I did screw this up. I can only take 2 victims with you. So I need to go back here. So we had start setup. We had 2 guys down here, and we had 1 here and 1 here. So I moved into here, brought these 2, moved here, and then when I moved to this space, I can only take 2 of these guys with me. So I can only bring 2 there. Okay, I just want to make sure I was doing that right. So there's still 1 back there, so I have to run back to get it. So even getting to that exit, which the killer can then move right to the exit and he's in the same space as me. So it's a risk I have to kind of take, but maybe I can attack him. But I don't have a lot of big attack cards. I just have the weak attack. Which does possibly 2 damage. 1 for that, 1 plus my weapon. But I need to roll really good for that. So, that's kind of a risky thing as I'm heading towards him. But it's what I might end up having to do. So, alright, it is my turn then. What do we want to do? So, I think first, we're going to move this back. We'll scooch this back over there just so it's not in our way. I think I would like to try and get those guys to the exit before I do anything. So we have walk, which lets me move up to 2 spaces. If I roll good. So let's go ahead and roll 2 dice. We got a partial and a regular. Oh, do I want to spend 2 cards to do that? I think I do. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a... Yeah, we're going to spend a short rest and a focus to put this up to 2. So I did move 2 spaces. So it's 1 space. We're just going to bring these 2 there. Oh, I got to leave 1. I got to leave 1 there. Can only take 2 of them with me. So I still got to run back around to get them. But the fact is those 2 guys are now rescued. They can come off the board. I can put them on my card. So now I have some options with Laurie's card here. I can reduce the terror by 1. I can gain 2 time. I can gain a health, which I don't need. I could do move 1 space, which could let me get out of the space the killer's about to walk into. I could take an action card of a max of 2. Or I could gain an extra time. I think what we'll do is we'll reduce the terror by 1. And we will move 1 space. So cool. So we'll move 1 back over here. Reduce this terror back down to 2. If we can get that into that green. I can get some extra, I get more dice, so that'd be really helpful. So to try and do that, why don't we try for a distraction? So I only technically need 1, so even if I roll nothing, I can technically get a distraction. It'll just cost us, oh wait, my walk did cost me a time. So after that, so yeah, even in worst case, I get a 1. I could always get a distraction out of it and get at least 1 to drop me back down. So we'll roll 2 dice. We got 2 partials, so we got a 0. So I could go 4. Lose 4 time and get 1. Or I'm gonna try close call. So this is after I roll any horde dice, reroll any 1 die, or reroll all for 2 time. I think what we're going to do is we're going to attempt the 2 time, and we're going to roll both. Okay, well, we got 1 success. So, the thing is, I would have had to spend 2 cards to gain 1 success anyhow, and I would have lost 4 time at that point. So, I've only lost 2 for 1. So, what that does will get me 1 horror less. So, now I'm back down to the green area, but it also gets me a time. So, I only ended up spending actually 1 time. I could have spent 1 more card. 2 more cards, though, to try and go for the other one, but I don't think I can... I don't think I want to lose that many cards this early on. Then we have walk, weak attack, and focus. I kind of want to keep weak attack in case he gets closer to me. But he's going to kill that guy, and that terror level is going to go right back up. So that's kind of the downside, is I'm not going to be able to prevent that. So I get 1 good thing with 3 dice roll for a turn. So... I could walk. Yeah, let's try walking again. But now we get 3 dice. So if I can get 2, that would be awesome. We got 3 partial. That does not help me. So either I lose 2 time, I can move 1 space if I take a hit, or I could discard both of my other cards to move 1 space. I kind of want to be like this early on. I could probably afford a hit. To at least get a move a space. So I'm gonna try that. We're gonna see what happens. So we'll do nothing. We'll move 1 space. We'll take a hit. We'll lose 2 time. But we're going to move this guy with us into the cabins, because I can maybe draw another item card to give me something different to try. But that's all. I still have my other 2 cards, because I didn't spend that. So then what we're going to do is we're going to try focusing. We're going to try a focus with 3 dice. We are rolling terribly. I can't discard anything because I don't have 2 cards. So we have to lose 2 times. And we lose focus. So I have 1 card left in my hand, which I can either hang on to for an attack in case the killer gets close enough to me. She's far enough away at this point. I'm going to discard it for 1 time. That's all I can do there. I can purchase stuff. My purchasing phase is going to be very terrible because I only got 1 time. So I'm going to buy 1 close call. Reset all this back up to 6. So like next round, I can rebuy all my 0 cards. But that doesn't help me right now. Just as a reminder, though, you can only have 10 cards in your hand. So you have 6 regular. So once you start buying a bunch of extra cards, like you get some of the guard and defense cards, you're not going to be able to buy all your weak cards right away. But that's better. You're getting higher cards, but I am doing terrible. Yeah, so that was a crappy turn for that. I mean, I did rescue a guy, but then I kind of went downhill after that. Alright, it is the killer's turn. They're going to resolve a killer action. So they're going to target a guy and kill this guy. Boom. This will go up. Their terror level goes back up. So I'm back down to 2 dice. Alright, let's draw a terror card. Hans wants me. He's always wanted me. I have to move. They're going to target me, moving 2 spaces towards me and try and kill me. So 2 spaces closest to me. Across the top. So we got 1, 2. So now he is blocking my exit. I went from doing really well to doing very terribly. So the problem with him blocking my exit is the victims won't walk into his space. Where's my movement page? I want to make sure I read that correct. That's the killer phase. Attacking, panic, upkeep, holding items, weapons. Yep. Where is... Yeah, when leaving a space containing one or more victims, 2 victims follow you. They're scared of death and will happily follow you. However, victims will not follow in the space with the killer, so if you wish to move to the killer space, you may not take any victims with you. Of course, there are already victims in the space, they will gladly follow you out. So, now to get to that door, to exit, the problem is I can't take guys with me, so now I have to go all the way back around to this bottom one. Luckily, I'm already kind of there. There's a space though between there and there, so he can move that way. I was hoping to have enough time to have bought a search card, so I could have searched for another item. That's not going to happen. Our turn, all we have is close call, which helps me reroll dice. So I can't even do anything on my turn. So my turn is already done. I am going to go right to my planning phase to buy cards. I am going to need to get something to keep me alive. I have 6. I could discard close card to gain a 7th one, but we'll just hang on to that. So I can buy all my cards back. So I got 7 of those. I think I want to buy a guard. So I could buy Retaliate, which ignores all for 2 and then does 2 damage. Yeah. So we're going to try that. We're going to buy a Retaliate for 4, I think. Because then if he does attack me, I can potentially do some damage back to him. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That leaves me at 2 points left. So I can't buy anything big. I can either buy a Sprint or a Search. And we're going to pick up a Sprint so we can try and get around the board. I'll do that. This will go back up to 6. That is all that will happen on my turn. So I couldn't play anything. The killer will now do stuff. He will try to attack. There's no one in his zone. He doesn't attack. He will draw a terror card. He wants fresh blood. He's going to attack, target a victim, move 2 spaces, and attack. So he's going to go towards the nearest victim. So I could have him go this way, or I could have him go this way. I can kind of choose which way he goes. But maybe I have to... There's a tie between who is the closest. Chichikos has the most victims. The final girl is not the victim. There's still a tie, so he's going to go towards the bottom where I am. So now he's going to move in his zone. He's going to kill one of these guys. Oh boy, so this is going to go back up 1. Alright. You're becoming a pain in my ass. But he is here now, so I can always attack him on my turn. Oh, crap. No. Back up. So, we have this. First of all, at the end of my turn, at the end of the last turn, this guy was going to move up in the zone. So, his first action, he's going to kill this guy. So, we get that. Then, he is going to move into this zone. So I think it said... Page 31 for ambiguity rules. I think it says basically pick whatever's worse for you. Such a way that works out best for you, works out worse for you, or the funniest outcome. And I always like to play whoever's worst. That always makes the game more interesting. He's going to move into my zone. Then he's going to kill this person. Which is going to move him up into here. Which means now he has 3 damage when he attacks. Gains an extra horror. So, great. This is going bad for me. I don't think my final girl is going to survive this game. Alright. Then the end of the phase, someone's going to move towards her. So this person's going to move down into this zone because they're an idiot. So he's going to get another kill right off the bat. So I'm doing very bad at saving people. Right now there's only 4 people left on the board. So unless I find a card that lets me bring more people into the game, I'm probably not going to be able to activate my ultimate ability. So I am going to struggle to win. Alright, so we're with the killer right now, so we may as well do a weak attack. But do I have some focus cards I could try first? Just because I'm curious if I can get back up to 3 dice. Does that help? It just helps me gain a better attack. So, yeah, let's try that. Let's try a focus with 2 dice, see if we can reduce that horror and gain some extra time. 1 success, so I can reduce it by 1, but I lose a time. Or I could, again, discard 2 cards to gain 2 extra time on there. I mean, 2 extra time might be very helpful. Do I have any cards that just give me time? Thing is, he's probably going to attack me next turn, so I am worried about taking damage. I think I'll get rid of... yeah, let's do this. Let's get rid of short rest. We don't need to worry about health at this moment, and we'll get rid of walk, because I do have a sprint in there as well. So give me 2 successes for my focus, which means my horror will go back down 1, but I will also gain 2 time. Help me buy some more stuff so maybe I can get a better attack or something like that. Like critical blow would be very well, or a better health thing maybe. We're going to try the other focus card, so we'll roll another 2 dice. I got 1 success, 1 partial. So again, I could drop it by 1 and lose a time, which I think is fine. Because now what we're going to do is we are going to attack him. So we have roll, but now I get to roll 3 dice. So I'm only going to do 1 damage to him. But my baseball bat will do a 2nd damage. And if I inflict damage, I get rid of his entire power. So that would be super helpful. So we're going to definitely try for that. We got 2 successes. Perfect. Because I rolled that 3rd dice. So that's going to get rid of this Unholy Rage power altogether. Which is very nice. Because I don't have to worry. He loses 2 health, but I don't have to worry about doing extra damage to me since he's already doing 3. And we do a point of damage, 2 points of damage to him anyhow. So we get rid of two right there as well. So that's nice. So he's a little bit more damaged. But I don't have any other attacks then. So then what we have is we have Retaliate if we stay in the same zone as him. But I could try and get this person out by sprinting. We're going to try and sprint for up to 3 spaces. So roll 3 dice. We got 1 success, 1 partial. So that could get me 2 spaces at a cost of a time. So kind of, I mean, it's going to cost me a time either way. But I mean, I could discard other cards that to draw some other stuff. But 2 spaces aren't bad because that at least gets me away from him. So we'll do 1 space, 2 space down to here. So it's 1 step closer. That if he tries to get to me, at least he's gonna have to move 2 spaces just to get back to me. Although the dumb thing is that guy's gonna move back up 1 space at the end of after the killer goes anyhow. So he's not going to help me, so I might just have to abandon that one and maybe try and get around to the other side. Unless, what I'm going to try and do first is we're going to try walking. We still have 3 dice, or he upset again. We got 1 success, 1 partial, so that lets me move 1 space, and I lose another time. I lost the time for that one too, so I'm down to 5. But we're going to move 1 more space. This person escapes. So I can gain 2 time or I can gain a 2-part action card. This could get me another sprint and I could try and move another 3 spaces right away. That might not be a bad idea, but 2 extra time would give me up to 7 time, which would let me buy some really good cards. You know what? I think we're going to try for the 2 action. We're going to get this sprint right away, and we're going to use it right off the bat. So we're going to try and move 3 spaces. We got 1 success, 1 partial. So that's 2 spaces at the cost of a time. So that could get me a little bit closer. You know what? Well, it's going to cost us a time anyhow. Why don't we use close call to reroll 1 die? Did not help. Okay. So 1 time we move 2 spaces right there. Lose both of those for the turn. Alright, we're going to keep Retaliate. We'll hang on to that. Not going to get rid of that for a time. I mean, I could discard Close Call for just an extra time instead. But that's going to at least get us a little bit closer to getting those other guys. I just want to try and get some of them other victims if I can. Or if I can get to, like, the dock. Maybe I can get the motorboat or something. We'll see what happens. But at least I'm out of range of him. So, alright, what is he going to do? So, on his... Oh, still my planning phase. I gotta do my planning phase yet. Let's do that. We have 4 time. So, I'm going towards the dock. So, let's buy a search for 2. And that only leaves us with 2 more. So, I can either buy a second search or another close call. Or I could buy another guard and kind of beef myself up for defense later. But again... Every time I buy more cards I'm just hanging on to, like Close Call and Guard, that's one less thing I can, starter card I can pick up, and that's less cards I'm going to want to discard for actions. I could buy another search, but I don't know if I need, I have a weapon, but I don't know if I need to search multiple times. But guard might not be bad if he gets near me, having a second defense attack. Because it helps me ignore all damage or reduce 2. What to do? Let's try for another search card. We'll get that for 2. That puts us back 0. Put it back up to 6. All my other ones can go back to their spots. We got that. We got our sprints. All our basic cards are ready to purchase again. Alright, if I wouldn't spend my basic cards every turn, I'd have some here, some there, you know, but again, I might not be playing this in the optimal way. Alright, Killer is going to trying to attack anybody. There's nobody there. He's going to activate a terror card. I fell asleep. What did I miss? Place 1 new victim at the cabins and then up my terror by 2. Aw, crap. Alright, there goes my 3 dice. We have to add a new victim to the cabins. Where are the cabins? Oh, look. That happens to be right where he is at. Luckily, he didn't get an attack as well. But yeah, that's kind of funny thematically. This person literally woke up with, what did I miss? And then the killer's there. I can see why they're terrified. Now one of these guys is going to try and move. So this guy is probably the closest. So they're going to move off the cliff, which that's actually might work out for me. If I can get around fast enough, maybe I can catch him on the other side, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. So I could pop up through there, but I don't have enough time to do that. But also means at the start of his next turn, he's going to take another victim, which means he gains one of his dark powers. So yeah, he's going to definitely make this game a little bit harder for me. Awesome. Cool. Alright, so it's my turn again. We have Search, and Retaliate. I just realized I didn't have any Sprint or Walk cards, so buying a bunch of Search cards did not help me because I'm again stuck with a turn where I can't do anything. Because I didn't purchase any cards that could let me move. So that's the thing I have to keep in mind. You want to make sure you maybe hang on to one of them each turn so you have some options to do something every turn. Alright, so I guess I'm going right to the planning phase. I have 6 to spend. I'm going to, first of all, I have 3. And again, if I pick up all of my movement cards, my 0-cost cards, I can't do anything. But we do want to get the attack card because we definitely need to be able to move. So I have 4 right now. Let's see what I want to spend my 7 on. Critical Blow would be really great. So I would do 3 hits to him. And I can do some, with 4 with my baseball bat, I can do some definitely good damage. Furious Strike might not be bad either. Just that way when he gets near me, if I have some attack cards in my hand, I could do some damage. But I also need to be able to move. So I'm going to spend 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 at this point to buy both sprints. 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. I have 2 more. So again, I can't buy any of this. I can buy the 2 close calls, which let me reroll dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They only get me 2 other things. So the thing is, do I spend that or do I get some extra stuff? Having the focus is really nice for trying to reduce that, reduce the horror back down. So we're going to get 2 of those. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I can only have 9 and 10. I don't need short rest. So I'm going to keep that one off the table. Do I want to get both walks or do I want to get a walk and a close call? Then with having more walks would let me, even if I don't spend them all now, it would give me stuff to do on the next turn if I needed to. Yeah, so why don't we pick up both of them? So I have 10 cards in my hand, so I have a bunch of stuff to do. That was that. Preparation phase, reset time back up to 6. Discard all cards I didn't have any. Killer phase, his first thing he's going to do is attack, kill this person. Go back down there. He's going to go up. He's going to now do 2 movement per every movement thing. He also gains a dark power, which will be feed. Every victim hands kills or recovers health. Oh, crap. Because he's killing them very quickly. Alright, what's our terror card do? Fire. Roll a die to determine which space burns up into flames. The cabins, the utility shed, or the docks. Cabins can go ahead and go set on fire because he's standing there. I'd be fine with that. Utility shed, not bad. I hope the docks don't because I need to go through that area. What do we get? A 2. Aw, sweet. So the cabin starts on fire. It says all victims in that space are killed. Discard all item cards from that space. So we lose all our items. So we don't... I'm going to look to see what they were. And it says, if you are an enemy out of space, you each lose 1 health. Awesome. So he loses an extra health because he killed that last girl. Speaking of the camera. So I was showing all these cool cards. So here we go. Yeah, guy bursts into flames too, so he takes damage. Yeah, it's kind of funny because you kind of thematically. That girl woke up, we'll say girl for our victim. She woke up in the cabin. What did I miss? There's a killer there. Next turn, the killer kills her. But in the process, she kicked over a candle into a gas tank, set the cabins on fire. There's no items left in there, but it did hurt the killer. So she got a little bit of revenge. That's kind of fun. Then the end of the upkeep, guys going to move back towards her, so I'm not even mad about that. It's the closest person, so that one's going to move up there. Now, if they get to that green space, they do not leave. So a victim they're not smart enough to leave by themselves. So I'd have to get all the way around the board to that top spot to help them leave. So basically, they're going to get sacrificed one way or the other. I can't do much about that. But it is my turn. Which that's the problem. I won't get my final thing because there's only 3 guys left and there's no way I can get around to save them. So first thing I want to do is I want to try and get to the docks to try and find them. So we're going to sprint. We only have 2 guys. Actually, can we... Did I not buy... I got to focus. Let's try a focus first. So roll 2 dice for focusing. We got nothing. Crap. Because now, if we just take 2 times, I may as well spend 2 cards to at least get rid of 1 horror. So, let's get rid of 1 walk and the other... We'll get rid of both walks. I think, no, we want to keep a walk. Yeah. I want to probably keep moving to get those guys towards the top. You know what? I'm nowhere near him, so we'll drop our weak attack. And we'll drop our 1 search. And we won't try and search twice. We'll just try the 2 of them. That'll give me at least a 1 success on here. So now I get 1 less horror, which doesn't really help me, but I only lose 1 time, but it's better than losing 2 times. Alright, so that didn't help me. I'm going to try the other focus again. Let's hope for 2 successes. Nothing again. Oh, crap. So now we have to get rid of something else. Alright. We'll get rid of both walks. Again, same thing. We'll lose a time, but we'll get our horror down. Okay, but now we can sprint. So now we get 3 dice. So that's our hope. I am doing terrible. We got 1. So I can move up to 2 spaces at the cost of a time. So that's fine. 1, 2 gets us to the dock. Then we're going to use our search card for 3. We got a single and a double. I don't want to spend my last 2 cards, so I'll just take the top item of the deck, which is the motorboat. So the motorboat here says, old man Jackson, you don't mind if we borrow his boat because I'm pretty sure he's dead. Says, place the motorboat token at the closest spaceport in the water. Spend 2 time to use the boat to travel to any other spaceport in the water. Victims may come with you. So, what is... And we'll put that right in our backpack. It's just a reminder. Let's grab our motorboat token. So, cool. So, now what I can do is I can actually just travel right over to this point. Spend 2 points just to go right over there. And try and rescue that person. And then I can do 2 to come back. And maybe I can come back to the lake, pick up this guy. You know, and then I can try and exit out this direction with those guys to at least get 2 more points. If I have more movement abilities, I could try and just drive over to the cliff, right? And I could try and move 2 over there. So I could try and do that and save that person. The killer is going to move 2 spots, so they might end up getting to me. That's the only issue. But do I want to risk that? I think I do. I think we're going to try that. So we're going to spend 2 time, take the boat, and instead of going to that, well, I have a sprint. I could put, yeah, but I can't move up to 3 spots. We're going to take the boat. We're going to go here first. Then we're going to sprint for 3 dice. We got 3 successes. I only needed 2. So that kind of sucked because I went to the other spot. I could have brought both guys with us. But I don't have to stop on a spot to drop these guys off. I just have to move through it, I'm pretty sure. Again, first time playing, so sorry I have to keep checking for rules. But I want to make sure. Any point during action phase or on a green space, even passing through victims there may be saved. Okay, cool. So I got three move spaces, but it's going to cost me a time. So I can move... I could move 1, 2, 3, but I'm going to move 1 here, 2 here to save this person. Which I'm going to immediately do this to give me 2 extra time. And then I'm going to use my 3rd one to move back over here. So now what's nice is because that one guy by the... So let's see, this guy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're both 5 away. Unless the killer moves. So, I can pick which one's worse. Potentially the one that's worse for me is this guy moving this way. But that's fine, so I can maybe get in, get this guy, and then zip down this way and rescue them. Maybe I can rescue both guys. That would be really cool. But now I'm down to the point where I only have Retaliate left, so I can't do any more attacks. I'm not in the space to use the boat, so I can't use the boat to go back. But I can go ahead and do some planning. So we have only 3 times. So we don't have a lot. We can't buy any of our basic stuff. So that's going to basically get me either Improvise, which says until the next action phase, all 3 and 4s are successful. Or until the next roll only. Either one of those might be helpful as I'm rolling really terrible. Or Distraction to reduce the time way back down. Or I could pick up 2 close calls. I think we're going to try this, because even a 1 wouldn't be too bad. So it'll cost us all 3. We'll go back up to 6. Reset these guys back to their spots for the next thing. 0, 0, 0, 0, search, and 0. Alright, so next turn I can buy a bunch of those. The only problem is, again, I'm to the point on my next turn, I don't have a move ability because I was dumb and I didn't save anything, so I can't do any moving around on my next turn. So I really gotta watch good. I gotta watch discarding all my walks and stuff for things. I was expecting to keep my sprint till next turn, but then I saw the motorboat and I saw that opportunity, and that made more sense to me. Alright, so now it is the killer's phase. He's going to attack. Nobody's there, so he's going to draw another terror card. Run for your life. If there are no victims in there, draw another terror card. Otherwise, all victims that are not on your space must panic. Okay, so panic is going to move them 1 space closer to the victim. If I am correct. It was 1 victim. Resolve a panic. Roll a die. Okay, roll the die for the victim, and they'll go on whichever space you roll. Okay, so move the victim to the 1 space indicating direct to there. If they roll numbers not shown, repeat this process for each victim that panics. Okay, so all victims are going to panic. So the guy at the makeout point, we're going to roll his die. Thing is, it says 1 space in the direction, or leave them if they're not there. Okay, so if he gets a 3 through 6, he moves. He gets a 4. Okay, so he's going to move here. It's not terrible. Helps get him out of that area for me. Then the other guy is going to roll. This could be bad. He gets a 4. So 1 to 4, he's going to move down here. Alright, then the killer is going to target a person in attack. They didn't have one. They're going to move closest to the final person. So now it's 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So he's going to go this way. Then the end of the turn, this one's going to go up here. So that's actually kind of helpful because now they're in my spot. So that kind of worked out for me. I want to check one other thing. I think I may have messed up on setting up the terror deck for some reason. I don't shuffle them all together. I was just like saying, oh, the deck can run out. And I thought, I have a lot of cards. It's going to take a long time to run out. But hey, if I get rid of all the victims, for the most part, then we'll just kind of be down to battling. And I can just focus on saving up to get attack cards and health cards instead. So that'll be kind of an interesting climatic end. But again, we have the thing where I don't have any move cards. So it is my turn again. I can't do anything, so I'm going to go right into planning phase. I could discard these cards for stuff, but I'm not going to. So for planning phase, we have 6. Let's pick up the 2 sprints for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So at least we have some movement cards. I could pick up the walks for 0, I guess. Actually, you know what? That might not be a... Let's pick up 1 sprint. Right, and then we'll pick up the 2 walks, and that'll give us that. Let's grab our weak attack as well, in case he does get near us, we can attack. But we have 4 points, so I can't get any of the higher ones, but I could get Furious Strike and at least be ready to attack back. But yeah, I'd like to just try and keep moving, but he's going to come at me next turn. So why don't we buy a guard for 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 3 more cards I can get. I'm not going to get back down to that searching time, but I get some focuses which could keep reducing that thing in case he puts it back up again, which he may or may not. So I'm kind of thinking like that's sort of a waste of my turn. I'd rather spend 2 to get an ability. I'm going to buy the other sprint card, I think. All right, then we'll go back up to 6. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can get 2 more. So we'll grab the 2 focuses anyhow. Just because we can have up to 10 cards, we may as well. Awesome.